Hi BookTube, I'm here today to talk about Peace and Good Order, The Case for Indigenous Justice in Canada by Harold R. Johnson. And I just finished reading this like 3 days ago and I'm still thinking about it, and I'm sure I'll be thinking about it for a long time to come because there's a lot of information in here. And it's only like 160 pages and it packs a punch. I want to take this book and I want to beat people over the head with it and hope that through osmosis and brute force that the information inside this book will be put inside their head. But I also want to just hyper focus right now and talk about 5 things in particular that I learned from reading this book. So first off, Harold Johnson himself, there's a picture of him here, was a lawyer. He worked both on defendant and prosecutor sides. And law school is a gate to keep people out. It's designed by and for wealthy, straight, white males. And Johnson goes into depth about talking about this. He says if you're single with children, this is going to be really hard because you have to work. You have to find childcare, and things such as, needing to work and probably working a 40-hour job to, pay rent or mortgage or whatever, to buy food, to pay for childcare. It's hard, especially with the workload expected of law school students and the mandatory unpaid internships. He says you're assigned exaggerated workloads and they want to stress you out because, not because they think that's, what it takes to be a lawyer, but they want to push people out. They don't want to keep the gates open. And he says, all the abstract concepts he learned actually didn't help him in the court and in real life. Number 2. More officers means more arrests. So he talks specifically about northern Saskatchewan and says they just keep sending more officers. And of course, if there's more officers, it's going to be more arrests, which makes it seem like there's more crime than in other areas where there's less officers to, I don't want to say enforce law because I don't think they do that, but to make arrests, right? And it also convinces people that the higher crime rates mean that the police need more funding and that you need more police. And this big vicious cycle goes on. And he has the facts to back this up, the studies and everything, so I'm not just coming up with nonsense here. Alcohol is a huge problem. It is used as self-medication, especially in a group of people who've had consistent trauma inflicted on them, such as the abuse experienced in residential schools. The last of which wasn't shut down until 1996, so this isn't a past problem. I was 10 years old when the last residential school was shut down. This happened within my lifetime. This leads to an increase in alcohol-related crimes. And across Canada, 80.6% of men and 71.2% of women used alcohol at risky levels in 2013. So this is a Canada-wide problem. But it's interesting because we have this stereotype of the lazy drunk Indian in Canada. And that's not the case, actually. There are more abstinent Indigenous people than there are other people in Canada. So for example, 30% of Indigenous people reported being abstinent from alcohol and drugs, whereas only 18% of non-Indigenous people reported being abstinent from alcohol and drugs in Canada. Number 4, redemption and rehabilitation are more important factors in reducing recidivism than punishment. And recidivism is the likelihood of someone recommitting crimes. In fact, the longer the prison sentence, the more likely the person is going to re-offend. And punishment also doesn't help the victim or the community. It doesn't help relieve the trauma that was experienced, and it can actually hurt the community as well. He gave a really good example of this man who was sent to prison for drunk driving, and that man was taking care of his nephew, and he was the only one who could control his nephew, had fetal alcohol syndrome. And because that uncle was taken out of that man's life, that man then resorted to criminal behavior. And that caused more problems in the community than it solved if that person had been given a different path towards justice. And lastly, when First Nations entered into a treaty with the Queen, they did not give up their jurisdiction over criminal law. What this means is that the First Nations are well within their rights, well within their legal rights, to take over the criminal justice system and the criminal justice proceedings in their own communities. There's a lot more in this book that I think you should know. And because of that, I'm going to be doing a giveaway for Peace and Good Order by Harold Johnson. It will be this hardcover book. It's the only way that you can receive it right now. It's the only way it's being published right now. It's a new book, just from 2019, last year. And I'm holding the giveaway over on Twitter. I did a poll and it was 50-50. So I said I'd do an announcement on YouTube and I'd hold the giveaway over on Twitter. All you have to do is follow me so I can DM you and just comment under that tweet that you want to enter the giveaway. I'll provide a link to the tweet down below and just say that you want to enter the giveaway. That's it. You have to be able to give me your address. You either have to like be 18 or have the permission of your parents to give me your address so that I can give it to you, and it will be ordered through Amazon. Yeah, so that's it. That's Peace and Good Order by Harold R. Johnson. And if you don't win the giveaway, please just pick this book up and read it yourself. I'm going to bash you over the head with it until you get the information in there. It is amazing. Thank you for watching.